Welcome to my first top 5 video of the channel, and I hope you guys find it an appeasable topic. I'm an avid viewer of anime, and this past year I've watched some very good shows, whether they're new series or new seasons to some shows in the past. At the time of this video, My Hero Academia Season 2 just finished airing, and it left me feeling two ways. Ecstatic because the season was pretty amazing and it left me hopeful for more, but bummed because now that it's over, what shows will I be able to indulge myself into every week for the fall? Well, that's where I got the idea to make this list. Presenting my top 5 most anticipated anime of the fall 2017 season. This list will contain some new seasons of shows from years past, while there are some new ones that I'm hyped for entirely based on the little that I know about it, but having scanned the summary of it. There are also shows that I haven't seen yet, so if the show has a second season that I do not mention, it's because I haven't watched the first or finished it, but I will one day. This is my personal list, and at the end of the year, or at least season, I plan to reflect on the shows that I've watched and hopefully can make a top 10 out of it. Without further delay, let's begin. Number 5. UQ Holder Magical Teacher Negima 2. I watched Magical Teacher Negima a long time ago, and I kinda took a liking to a kid the same age as me, or around my age, who had magical powers while being treated somewhat like an adult. I know the series has had OVAs and other releases since the original series back in 2005, but this one seems to be a different, more action-packed take on the setting. In the decades since the world has become aware of the existence of magic, it has undergone a massive upheaval. However, a boy named Toto lives in seclusion in a rural town, far removed from these changes. His ordinary life is highlighted by his magic-using female teacher and his supportive friends. When his tranquil daily life is disrupted, he embarks on a unique adventure. Produced by JC Staff, who will be doing another show on this list, I'm optimistic to see where this show leads. Number 4. Evil or Live. In the current youth, a certain disease started to spread among young boys and girls. Loneliness, rebellion, avoiding friends. In addition, they obsess over the internet and other electronic devices, unable to avoid them. Experts call this disease net addiction. And there is a rehabilitation center built with the wish to lead young people back on the right path. But for one of the residents called Hibiki, the facility is more of a prison than rehabilitation. Will Hibiki be able to escape his desperate hell where they do not forgive you for leaving? See, I'm not a big fan of horror or gore, though in anime it seems more entertaining because it's not real people being brutally murdered. I know it sounds like a pansy. But with Evil or Live, it seems to be a suspense and mystery show involved with a relatable premise that I feel will leave me on the edge of my seat every week. Number 3. Inuyashiki. Produced by Studio Mappa, who've also produced the series Garo, Ushio, and Tora, and more recently Yuri on Ice. Inuyashiki is about a man who has a wife and 2 kids, none of which care about him. When he learns that he only has 3 months to live, he realizes that the only one who will miss him is his dog. Shortly after this realization, he is killed in a crash landing by aliens. He is rebuilt by them as a machine with a human exterior. Now, Inuyashiki seems to lead a depressing life in his old age, but I wonder what misadventures he will go on now that he has a second chance at life. I feel that this anime has a lot of potential to be suspenseful, action-packed, thrilling, and an emotional roller coaster that will definitely have me rooting for him throughout the show. I just hope that it has a conclusive ending and not a cliffhanger, especially if I enjoy it. Number 2. Food Wars Season 3. Also produced by JC Staff, this series has become one of my favorites in recent years after being recommended by a good friend of mine. If you haven't seen it, it's like a bunch of Junior Gordon Ramsays whose foods are so good your clothes rip off your body, which the show uses both metaphorically and literally. The show is about Soma, a young chef who is trying to beat his dad in a food war one day, but to do so he must hone his skills at the most prestigious culinary institute in the world, whose graduation rate is at 1%, yet is filled with the most talented students across the world. Food War is basically a battle of Iron Chefs. Season 2 was a huge tournament full of food wars, and this next season will continue his adventures and trials against the Student Council, known as the Elite Council of 10. If you haven't already, I highly recommend binging the first 2 seasons, as I'm sure like in those, the food will leave you salivating and hopefully give you ideas on trying out your own recipe experiments in the kitchen. Number 1. Black Clover. Produced by Studio Parrot, it is hailed as the next Naruto by many and is also seen as Fairy Tail meets Naruto. In a world where magic is everything, Asta and Yuno are both found in a church at the same day. While Yuno is gifted with exceptional magical powers, Asta is the only one in this world without any. At the age of 15, both receive grimoires, magical books that amplify the holder's magic. Asta's is a rare grimoire that contains anti-magic that will repel and negate his opponent's spells. Being opposite but good rivals, Yuno and Asta are ready for the hardest of challenges to achieve their common dream, to become the Wizard King. I don't know if this will be ongoing or seasonal, but I do feel that we may potentially have a new big 3 of this show with My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan in our hands. Thank you for watching. Again, I am aware that there are some shows that have a second season, but at the time of this video, I haven't seen the first season or I haven't finished it. So for shows like Garo or Kekai Sensen, I will review those later and I will end up going back to watch those shows. But what are your top 5 to watch out for? If you have any recommendations for me this season, recommendations from shows for this year, or any you think I may have not watched, please leave them in the comments below, and stay tuned for more content such as reviews, podcasts, live streams, and other things. Until next time, let's save our progress.